Hi, welcome back to Technology Review. I'm your host, Mac Jackson Jr. You can find me on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, and my website at macjacksonjr.com. Today, in our New Tech Gadgets segment, I'm interviewing a guest of mine, Judith Michelle. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Very good. Is that fine to call you Judith Michelle?
Yes, Judith Ann Michelle.
Judith Ann Michelle.
A lot of people call me Michelle. A lot of people call me Judith Ann. There's a
Excellent.
story behind it, but in Vegas, people have more than one name. So
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, welcome to the show.
Thank
welcome to the
you.
show. You're here representing Capstone
I
today.
am,
Yes,
yes.
Capstone Insurance, right?
Yes,
Yeah, so
Capstone
tell us a
Risk
little
Management Insurance.
Capstone Risk Management Insurance. Great. Tell us a little bit about Capstone.
Okay, well, Capstone is an insurance brokerage firm. Offers risk management service, works for the client, not the insurance company
Okay.
or broker. All different employee benefits, surety, property and casualty,
Nice.
personal lines, and I'm a risk manager employed at Capstone.
Nice. And I wanted to speak with Judith Ann, because of cyber liability insurance. Of course, folks, all my listeners, we talk about mitigating the damages of identity theft and fraud and cyber crimes, and I wanted to have an insurance company here to talk to us about it as well. So
Well,
definitely.
it's everywhere. I mean, if you think about it, computer systems, whether it's a driverless car,
Yes.
a billboard. If you drive on the billboard, digital billboards, if you work for a large company, if you work for a small company, you're going to a construction company.
Right.
What plans are, media liability? Did somebody go in and hack into your website? Is something showing up on your social media feed that you didn't do? And we talked yesterday, excuse me, a nonprofit organization
Sure. Right.
presenting something to a school, and they put up, hypothetically, put up something and it goes to a porn site.
Right.
What sort of damages are there, and how can you prevent and or insure in case you do have the loss? May be, at the end of the day, sometimes the insurance company and the broker offering education,
Right.
letting you know what services are out there, what policies are out there, what you can get coverage for. It's important to look into that.
It is. Did you see was it yesterday or the day before, where there was a driverless car that got into an accident downtown?
Yes.
Yeah, it turns out, as I understand it, it wasn't the car's fault, it was the actual driver of the other car. But again, the whole thing of cyber and driverless vehicles,
Right.
what would happen in the future? How would that be insured in the future? Will it be, if a driverless vehicle got into an accident, would the programmer be at risk, or would the company?
Excuse me, it's a very good question.
Yeah.
And one of the things that's really important to do in insurance and in risk management is to read. I'm a big fan of reading and also understanding the definition of terms that are in the policy.
Right.
Your insurance policy, more often than not, and I would say all policies, but I don't want to speak, in that. But you're going to have a glossary of definitions, and what do those terms mean? Even if you look into cyber insurance, you're going to have different policies, different companies offering different, defense for if you get sued, is it inside or outside of the policy limit?
Good point.
Claims made versus an occurrence. How would you determine a claim if all of a sudden if it happens over time? Let's say you have hackers and it's over time, over a period of 6 years. I read recently there was probably an email. Somebody posed as the CFO of a company,
Oh, yes.
right? So gave information and instruction to employees to do regular transactions.
Right, part of
Those
social
employees
engineering.
didn't question, and they did it.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until, and you had accounting people in before, that would be able to say, there's a problem here.
Exactly.
For a lot of businesses don't find that problem. Sometimes it's even employees that can be the hackers.
Yes, that's true. The insider threat, we talk about that a lot. Insider threat in companies, that's one of the biggest issues regarding the threats of cybersecurity.
Right.
Wow. So what are some of the products that Capstone offers?
Well, you talk about employees. You have employees. You have employment practices liability. We have, a lot of times now you see sexual harassment, hostile work environment.
All those risks,
So
strong risk management.
It's important. If you're going to be in business, you're going to have risk.
Right.
And it's important whether it's directors and officers liability. That's another important coverage to look into. If you sit on a board of a nonprofit organization, you may be sitting on a board, and how are you protected? Are you protected? Is there insurance that's going to protect you? Capstone has commercial personal,
Interesting.
and also surety and employee benefits. So there are so many different policies. Kidnap and ransom is something.
How about ransomware?
Well, exactly. Well, that's where you look into the cyber.
See?
Exactly. It's
That's
very,
the
very
word, folks.
important.
Yes.
Very important.
Yes.
And again, for one of the things with the ransomware, if all of a sudden that happens to you, who do you call?
That's right.
Do you call MAC, or if you have insurance, do they have professionals? You probably work with insurance companies where they're going to have you, contract with you because of your expertise. So it's important that we all work together to help
Absolutely.
businesses manage their risk.
Absolutely. Wow. Yeah, that's incredible. That's incredible what's going on right now. That's why it's very important that companies have insurance to protect their assets of their organization. Because you're right, if you're in business, you're in risk, and risk management is something everybody needs to be involved with.
Right, or at least understand how much that insurance costs, and if you decide not to buy it because you feel that comfortable with the whatever safeguards you put in place, then at least the insurance would have cost X, and we made a decision not to buy it. If that's your decision, make that decision based on information. That's good too.
Makes sense. How long has Capstone been in Vegas? Or
20 years, 20-year anniversary.
Are they a
this
local
year,
company, or are they a national? Or
yes, they're a local. They're
local
on
company here in Vegas?
Yes,
okay.
they're here in Las Vegas, and you can capstonebrokerage.com. You can get all the information at the website there, and also they're on Twitter at Get Your Cap On. So
Get
they
your
have
cap
a client.
on. I like
yeah,
that.
Hashtag Get Your Cap On. You have a client advocate there that's
Client
going to
advocate.
be there for you, and you have the president of the company who's been in the business for a very long time.
Okay.
The CEO is also a UNLV alum.
Oh.
So it's there's a lot of people that have been there. The culture of the organization, you have different ages, and we all work together to help one another.
Sure.
So it's it's my experience. It's a company that embraces and looks to come up with creative strategies to help their businesses, help their clients.
Very nice. So some of the products that we talked about were risk. There's E&O, I'm assuming, as well, right? And other different products that Capstone offers.
Errors and omissions.
Errors and omissions.
So again, it depends. When you have a business, or if you were the city of, any city or a municipality, you're a bank, you're going to have different exposures.
Yeah,
A bank might have certain needs that, you shouldn't sign this, you shouldn't sign that, you should have more than one people sign. If a telephone, if you're going, now you have all the phone, the airline tickets, and you have different things like that. So errors and omissions is a policy. Architects, but it'll go to the business segment. So if you're an architect, you're going to have those errors. If you are a computer expert, or if you're a doctor, it depends on your malpractice. What your business is, you're going to have different exposures. Some are similar. Probably everyone that has an office has similar exposures. I could slip, I could fall.
Sure.
But if you're a professional, you're going to have a different professional liability.
Correct. Yeah, definitely. Very, very good. So how big is Capstone here in Vegas?
I don't know big as far as, we're pretty
large broker or a small brokerage
it's
firm?
not an international brokerage firm,
Okay.
although we are licensed in all the states here in
Very good.
the United States,
important.
and we do have clients that have international exposures. We have the people at our company. I have over 17 years experience in the insurance industry, and more than that in working in the courts and working in the school system. My background, as you know, is
just
in
gonna ask you,
I was going to say it's in criminal justice. I worked in the courts, but again, I worked for a large broker. I worked for an international broker that had over 18,000 employees, I think. So I have that experience, and the president of our company has worked. So we have employees that have been working for, and we would hold ourselves up to prying. I'd say it's like a boutique brokerage firm.
That's a good term. That's a good term for it. So how would our viewing audience get a hold of someone there, you at Capstone or someone at Capstone? Is there a phone number as well? Or?
There is a phone number. I can give it to you. The phone number is 702-227-5727. And again, it's 8681 West Sahara.
8681 West Sahara.
Suite 100, right. And capstonebrokerage.com is the website for the firm.
CapstoneBrokerage.com. Very good. Well,
you can find me. Judith Ann is, like I said, I am a licensed insurance agent with our producer with the state of Nevada. So my legal name you'll find on my business card.
Excellent.
And I do a radio show under the name of Michelle SportsX. So
that's right.
I have I have a couple different hats, but Yeah.
Well, we
so
appreciate being here, Michelle.
Thank you so
again.
much. Thank
All
you.
right.
I appreciate
Thank you,
it.
folks, for being part of our Technology Review. We'll be back after these important messages.